Hello friends, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to see how good is season 15 so far and review the first 6 episodes. I'll compare to seasons 12 and 13's first 6 episodes as well. Also, I want to say one last thing before we start. I'm going to give my opinion about the episodes honestly without any manipulation. So don't get angry at me if I'm a bit too harsh in the episodes. In the end, it's just my opinion and this is how I legitimately think about the episodes. So let's get started with episode 1. This is my second favorite season premiere in New Ninjago, but it's not awesome though. I think that this is an okay episode. I really hate the idea of wind and water in specific not being created by the first Ninjutsu master. That's a huge retcon and plot convenience and I don't like that. Seasons 4 and 7 were all about elemental masters and elemental powers, so why did you find out about this important point just now? It's also really stupid, like why did we only knew that there is another creature that creates elemental powers now? And why is there even one in the first place? The first Ninjutsu master was always supposed to be this god figure who created all the elements. I don't see why they would change this big aspect of Ninjago now. Nia's behavior wasn't the best in here. You saw how she acts when she causes an accident and when it wasn't her fault, like with Cole's fall, but here she's completely out of character. Maya and Rhea, I don't really have to talk about them, I already made an entire video about them, so the backstory of this episode is not that good in my opinion. Nia's out of character, and the ending of the episode is kinda annoying. Also, to be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of the idea of Nia losing control over her powers. The ninja struggling with their power is a really repetitive concept now, and they could have easily done something more original to be honest. But I like the action in the beginning. Overall, I'm honestly not a fan of this episode and I find it to be quite overrated. I don't like most stuff about it, so I have to give it a 5.5 out of 10. Okay episode, but many issues. Now for episode 2, this episode focuses mainly on the Smith family and their relationships. I can understand why some people can find Maya and Nia's relationship to be sweet and all, but I honestly don't like this stuff. Maya is just extremely stereotypical. She's that hyper mom who's trying to help her daughter, but her daughter is just getting annoyed. And the whole episode focuses on this one idea only. Maya is trying to help, but Nia is getting annoyed and wants her to leave. That's really annoying in my opinion. Nia continues with her bad behavior, and then you have the other ninja and how they are acting, especially Kai. I think many people already know how out of character Kai became, so I don't have to talk about that. But you also have Ray and how he kept ignoring his daughter just to play video games when she needed him, and the whole action sequence with Zane and Pixel was really boring. Overall, this is a really weak episode, even weaker than the first, so I have to give it a 5 out of 10. Episode 3 is the best episode from the season at this point. I like how the team was divided and Kai and Cole stayed behind. That'll make for another cool side story during the season. The Hydro Bounty is amazing and I really like its design. This episode is slower paced and it's only meant to start the main storyline of the season, which is Nia's journey with the others. The cliffhanger in the end was pretty cool as well and made me kinda excited for the next episode. So this episode is decent, but it has some problems. Nia and Mike continue to be annoying and the humor is terrible. Again, I can see why some people would like it, but Zane talking like a part is extremely annoying and childish in my opinion. The ninja are okay and the J and E scene was really good. So overall this episode isn't meant to be much, it's just a premiere for the main storyline, that's why it can be kinda slow or boring sometimes. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. Episode 4 is easily the best at this point. The first half isn't all that exciting, it's just the ninja trying to fix the Hydro Bounty and there was a few good lines. But the good stuff starts when Nia and Maya arrive to the temple. I want to appreciate the soundtracks here. They're really good and you also have the voice acting. Kalmar's voice acting is just phenomenal, and also the other characters had amazing voice acting in this portion of this episode. I like the scene where the energy pulse came out of Wojura and then Nia was screaming. Made me really curious to know what will happen to Nia next. The stuff that happened in the temple is really good, from soundtracks, voice acting, mysteries and dialogue. And you also had the scene with Nia and Maya when they were talking about sacrifices. That was really good as well. So overall this is a really good episode, not 10 out of 10 worthy because the first half wasn't that great and the whole episode wasn't that mind-blowing or phenomenal, so I don't think that it deserves a 10 out of 10, especially looking at other episodes that got a 10 out of 10. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Really good episode but not mind-blowing and had a few issues. Unpopular opinion, but episode 5 is even better than episode 4 in my opinion. And Nia and Maya relationship is finally improving. It's not annoying anymore, it's less stereotypical and a lot better. And can I take more time to appreciate how awesome Calamar's voice acting is? The last time I was blown away by characters' voice acting in Ninjago was with Iron Baron. And Calamar's is even better, especially in that scene where he was talking to Trimar. Props to Gil Spanton, he did an amazing job. And speaking of Trimar, he was really good as well, and I liked Benthamar too. The interactions between the three was good. The action scenes were exciting and well done. Humor was good. Nia calling Calamar Calamari and how she kept fooling him was really funny. And finally have Zane's Sacrifice. I really don't like that they used the soundtrack from Zane's Sacrifice. I mean sure, this is also Sacrifice, but it's not as important or vital for them to use Zane's Sacrifice soundtrack. The whole thing was kinda rushed and it felt like they only wanted to play with our emotions, but it didn't really work in my opinion. So overall this is a great episode. Easily my top 5 best episodes from New Ninjago. I like the action, relationships, voice acting, humor, so I'll give it a 9 out of 10. And finally, we have episode 6. I still think that episode 5 is the best from this season, but episode 6 is pretty good. I don't like the action in this episode with the sharks in the beginning and in the middle. It's kinda boring and not that exciting to watch. And the ninja were really weird in this episode. When Calamar shot his dad, they were just standing there not doing anything. Then they just fled. The best and pretty much only good quality of this episode is Calamar and Trimar. Trimar's death was interesting. I honestly predicted that Calamar will kill his father, and I even said it in a previous video, so I'll be lying when I say that I was surprised or shocked. But I still think it was well done. Is it sad? Yes, because Trimar didn't deserve this painful death. Is it dark? Not really. Death isn't always dark. The reasoning behind it is what makes it dark or not, in my opinion. Moro died because he doesn't believe that his actions can be forgiven, so death is the best punishment he deserves. That death is definitely dark, mainly because of the motives behind it, not only because it's just a death. Julian's death in season 1 isn't dark, and I've seen nobody saying it's dark despite it being a death. That's because the reason behind it isn't dark. He just died of old age. And I feel like that's the case with Trimar's death. He died because his son wants to become the new ruler and all of that. It's more of, oh, look at how bad of a person Calamar is, than focusing on the actual death and a meaning that is more connected to it, like Moro's death for example. I can see why some people think it's dark, but in my opinion it's not dark at all. It's just sad. Not even a risk really, because Trimar isn't really that big of a character, and killing him won't really change much, and it's not really a risk as well in my opinion. It's just sad like I said. But I still think it was really well done, and the dialogue between him and Benthamar was really well done. So I'm giving this episode an 8 out of 10. So that's all with my review for the first 6 episodes from season 15. The first 4 were just a warm up, and episode 5 was when things started getting real. So far the season is okay in my opinion, not good and not bad, it's just okay. But that's okay as long as the season keeps improving. I think the first 6 episodes of the season are way better than the first 6 of seasons 12 and 13. I can see that the writing is slowly improving. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to tell me in the comments what you think of this video and what you think of season 15 so far. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, share with friends, and I'll see you next time.